Kyle, you have a very unique perspective on this FBS move. You played here, you've coached here, you've worked your way up. We're going to kind of go in reverse here. When you were coming up in high school out of Florida, deciding where to go, you ultimately said, I'm going to be a Liberty Flame. What was the recruiting pitch like for you when you were coming up through the ranks?
Well, mine was different because I walked on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, coming to Liberty I wanted to be at Liberty because of what it stood for and, everything that it stood for as a Christian university. And that was the reason why I wanted to come here. And then to get the opportunity to play football and to walk on the spring after my freshman year was just a blessing and something that, a couple of my buddies just pushed me to do. And without that, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm glad that I kind of pushed through the kind of questions or maybe not really wanting to at the time to do it and ended up doing it. And here we are now. So
what sense of pride do you have having your Liberty degree and now coaching at a place that meant so much to you as a student athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it's what gets me up in the morning and gets me going and gives me a lot of pride in what I do as a position coach and just coaching here and recruiting here. And I do have a different perspective because I can, tell my guys I know exactly what you're going through. And it means a lot to me just because of the investment that I put into it, the investment that a lot of my close friends put into it, the guys that came before us. It just really means a lot because I've been here and I've done it and I've been a part of the transition, right when I came in of starting to win some games and win some conference championships and kind of put Liberty on the map as a contender. So there's a little bit more that I have that kind of gets me going and pushes me on a daily basis with working here just because of playing and the investment that I had just as a student athlete.
Program's been a model of consistency really since you played here and even through Turner Gill. What have been the keys to that?
I think just hard work. I mean, obviously, Bill Gillespie being here from the beginning and kind of setting a standard of excellence in the weight room, I think has really been the thing that's gotten us over the hump, especially when I was playing. I think just being able to compete with FBS teams at the time and win an FBS game when I was here as a player. I think it really just starts there in the weight room and it's getting the right guys on campus and it's getting guys that believe in the mission of Liberty. So I think when you can do that and when you can get kids that not only love to play football here, but when they leave the building, they love everything about the school and what it stands for, then that's really when we're going to be successful because those guys have a little bit more push than just the football aspect. They also agree with the stance that Liberty has and the Christian beliefs, and it pushes them a little bit more than just, hey, I want to be a great football player. It's I want to play for the Lord, and I want to make Liberty known and put Liberty on the stage and do everything with excellence. So, I think it definitely starts with the weight room and Bill and those guys down there getting our guys going. I think him being here and the consistency has definitely been something that's been helpful.
Filtering out just the great athletes that just are great athletes and then finding the great athletes that also want to come to Liberty for a different mission. What have been the keys to success in finding those student athletes?
I think it's really, when you communicate, when you talk to a kid who's in high school, really just getting to know that student and that player and being able to talk to people around that person, whether it's principal or teachers and people outside of athletics, because when you can talk to those kids and when you can see how people react or how people know them outside of football, I think it's when you can really get to know them. And I know there's a lot of kids that we have here who just people love being around, and I think that's a really important thing for me as a coach, is to find guys that people just love being around and that fit the Liberty mold. And as you stated, just being a former player here, I think I'm pretty good at finding guys who fit that mold. But it's really just about talking to them and building a relationship with them where you can just kind of share everything about Liberty, and then you really see when you do that whether or not that kid's really interested or if he's going to be a good fit here or not. So
It's fun to hear the stories recounting February of 2017, where everybody was when they found out about the transition, the waiver being accepted by the NCAA. And it was a staff meeting that the staff was in when they found out. What do you remember about that particular meeting and that moment?
Oh man, it was just so exciting. You know, at first when you heard the news, it was kind of like, nah, like we've heard this before, and to hear it and then to be told by Coach Gill that it was for sure, and then for the email to go out scheduling the press conference and everything, and then your phone starts ringing and buzzing, and ESPN starts putting out stuff and tweets, and so it starts to really pick up steam. I mean, it's just it was so exciting, and it was such like a finally just kind of a weight off your shoulders, and a final like we're here, we've done it, now the work begins type thing.
As a player, you experienced a lot of great atmosphere type venues, including here at Liberty first and foremost. How is it different now as a coach, and when you're able to sell what it's like on a game day? What do you tell the prospective student athletes?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been to a lot of places, as like you said, as a player and now as a coach, having gone to a lot of different environments, and it's electric here. I mean, I really feel like we have one of the best home environments and home atmospheres, and any time that we can get a kid on campus, we really want to show them what we have to offer, and now with the stadium expansion and everything, we just know that the student section is going to be taken up a notch, and the home crowd, and the Lynchburg locals and the alumni base. I mean, everyone's really, really excited, and it's just an electric atmosphere. I mean, it's loud. You got fireworks. You got everything going on, and it's a great place to play. I mean, I love playing here as a student athlete, and now to coach and to kind of stand on the sidelines and kind of take a second and like look around and see what has been built since even I've been here. It's pretty special.